Okay, twin split Webers for the A-Series engine. I've had an awful lot of interest in these and a lot of people have asked how it's done and could we do an in-depth video. So we're going to run through how these are built up and what mods you have to do on a standard carburettor. So from here on in we'll move into the workshop and show you the first stages of what we do now. So first job is to get all the jets out, so we'll just pop the top cover off. You'll now see the main jet assembly and the idle jet assembly, so we'll just pop these out. Here you'll see the main jet assembly. If we just pop the top cap off, 3 parts here, air jet at the top, and you'll find there's a little number on there to differentiate which size air jet it is. Main jet at the bottom, again a little number on there to denote it, and the middle section, that piece, is the emulsion tube, and again you will see there's the little number, that one's an F2. So that's the main jet assembly, and there's 2 of those, one just here and there's the second one. We'll now take the next part out, which is the idle jet. And just there you will see the idle jet again with the relevant number. We'll just pop that one off there. This one here is the pump jet. Sometimes these are a little bit snug, so you have to go in from under there and just literally flick them out. There's the pump jet. Be careful with this because normally it's got a little tiny aluminium sealing washer on the bottom. This one has left itself in the bottom of the carburettor. Don't know whether you can see it down the hole. That's the main jets out. What we do now is we'll take the ram pipes off. Quite an easy job, just 4 nuts. Lift the ram pipe up with the clamping plate. Again on the other side, lift the ram pipe up with the clamping plate. There's your ram pipe. So you just need a screwdriver just to push these little tab washers down. Just whiz those out. They're just a little lock screw. They've got a dimple on the end of them that actually locks into the vent and the choke tube. I'll show you the holes that they locate into in a second. So back up that way. There's the auxiliary vent, and now you'll see there is where that screw actually locates to hold it in place inside the carburettor. Now before you can get the choke tube out, you just have to back off this little screw here. Just back that off. Spin that screw out. And then over again. And out will pop the choke tube. These are all identified by the number on them. That's the actual bore size, that's a 36. So that's 36mm across the bore. Okay, we're now going to take the float bowl lid off. This is the last screw of the 5. So we'll just pop this one out. There we go, that will lift off now. And inside there you'll see the float bowl. This is the second pair of chokes and auxiliary venturis coming out. Again, the 2 lock screws. There's the auxiliary vent again. These are different, you can get different sizes of these. I'll just quickly run through it. You'll see just there, look, it has 4.5. You can get a 3.5 also. Again, popping back over that way, we'll just undo this little screw here, as per the other side. And then out comes your choke again. And again, you'll see it's a matching 36mm. So there's your pair of chokes. 2 chokes, 2 auxiliary venturies, 2 ram pipes. Okay, next thing we're going to do is take the front cover off to get into the spring that operates the pump valve. Plate will come off. Okay. Right, what you will see now is how the actual pump inside the carburettor operates. As you open the throttle, there is a lever inside there. If you go in a little bit closer, Stephen, you will see it actually moving. And attached to that lever, right at the bottom of the cavity, you can see a spring. That spring is connected to the top of the carburettor just here, which then operates the pump mechanism. Okay, so throttle opens, spring pulls down, operates the pump. As you look at these butterfly screws, you'll find they go through the butterfly spindle, out of the other side, but they're riveted at Weber. Now, if you try and undo the screws, you won't get them back through the throttle spindle. They will seize because they're mushroomed. We're going to grind the back of the screw away, and then when we refit it, we will Loctite it in place so it can't come out. I've just got a little top off of a felt pen, just a wedge in there, just to hold the butterflies open. I've then got a little pencil grinder with a little stone on the end. So here we go, and you don't need a lot here. Now you can see the screw is completely removed, and now as we screw it out, it will actually screw straight out. So we'll take it back in the workshop, we'll show you this one, and then we'll repeat the process. There we go, there's the screw. Now you'll see it'll come straight through the spindle, no problem. If you try and do this without grinding the back off, you will wreck the screw and the spindle. So we're now just going to remove the nut. So if you just hold the spindle and not too tight. That's the lever. You'll find there's a little washer behind there. Remember to put that back on. That's the spacer washer. Again, tab washer first. Down. Nut. Spin this one off. Again, this little pesky little washer, which is a pain, because what happens is as you tighten the nut down, it actually squashes the washer onto the thread, and they're a pig to get off. If you keep levering side to side, you will find, there we go. Okay, what you've got then is you've got this washer that comes off. If you tap the spindle either way, you can actually get behind it then. There we go, and it's away. And there again is the little spacer that goes behind it. So now the throttle spindle is completely loose in there. We've actually got to get this little pin out now. So here we go. It's very, very little tiny. Make sure that you get that little pin. We don't want to lose that. So we'll remove the butterflies, which are basically lift up there, slide out 1, lift up, slide out 2. So bearings on the end, just got to put a little screwdriver in there just to tease that off as we pull it out. There we go, it's gone. Just twist it as you pull it. So there's your throttle spindle out. Just drop the other bearing out of the other end so you don't lose it. Okay, now you're left then with this little lever in here which you've got to get the spring off. So if you just pull that down, twist him around sideways, and the spring has just shot out the front, which we should have caught, but there we go. Okay, there we go. So 90% stripped. Just finally, before we take it round to the machine shop to chop it in half, you just need, where are we? This little cover taken off here. This is choke mechanism which you don't normally use on a race car, but we'll just take it off for you just so you can see what it is. There we go. That's the choke mechanism. And now we're going to hold it in the vise across here. So to hold it over there, we're going to have to remove these studs, but that's just taking 4 studs out. So there you go. There's a gutted 45 DCOE body ready now for cutting in half.